What's up, guys? We are back with another G.I. Joe Classified series review, and we're taking a look at a variant figure, kind of a special release figure, for something that I still haven't actually reviewed the regular one for. So we're taking a look at Pimp Daddy, or as they like to call him, Prophet Director Destro. So we've got him here in our standard style box for the line, so he doesn't have anything extra as far as packaging. It's just a little bit gaudier this time around. So you've got the figure there in the window, you've got some stylized artwork of Destro in the corner with a big gold foil logo and nameplate, and then that artwork wraps around to the side for a larger shot of Destro. The other side of the box has that kind of bio stats lineup, as well as his number, which is number 15, and then the back of the box, as usual, has that big spread, that big print of all the other figures in the line thus far. So let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here he is out of the package, our Prophet Director Destro. So outside of all the Cobra Island nonsense, this is probably one of my most anticipated figures for a while with this line, just because, I mean, look at him. You know, I didn't review Destro from Wave 1 because I honestly don't remember why. I just never got around to it. But this is that same figure with some crazy changes. So yeah, if you like that first figure, you're probably going to like most of this guy. It really comes down to, do you care about the Pimp Daddy look? And I very much love everything about this. It's stupid, it's goofy, and it works surprisingly. You know, it just works. So let's see what this guy can do, see how he moves around. There are a few different things to talk about because he has the cape on him, and it's not something that you have to use, but it does change up how mobile he is. So to start with, you've got the independently articulated head and neck. So you've got a head that can look up pretty far, and then he can look down really good. Of course, that's all in conjunction with that neck. You've got really good tilt, and then you've got full rotation. So with the cape on, things are a little bit different. So his arms really can't go out too far when his cape is on. They can't go all the way forward either, pretty much, but they can't go backwards. And then you can't use the butterfly joint entirely. You've got bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then you do have your vertical hinges, and you've got rotation. And then as far as the abs go, you can kick backwards a little bit, but this is pretty thick, so it's going to stop him. You can go forwards, and then you do have the ball-hinged waist down there. You've got to watch the belt because this is attached to the sheath, so it might start to kind of grab on him, but he moves really well otherwise. Now, you can take this off. It's a separate piece. So we'll take it off for now, and he moves a little bit better. So you get full range of motion on the butterfly joints, the arms fully rotate, and then of course they go way out at the shoulders. So he does have all the articulation you expect for this line. It's just some of it's, you know, encumbered by that cape, and then he can go backwards really good as well. The legs are drop down joints, so they drop down a little bit at the hips, and then they go all the way out. They do kick forward more than 90 degrees, and then they go backwards a little bit. You do have your thigh cut. You've got your double jointed knees, of course, and then you've also got a boot cut down here, and you've got your rocker, and you've got your hinges, and they are pretty solid. I mean, he moves really well. There's not really anything to complain about when it comes to articulation on this guy, outside of the fact that you're likely going to be displaying him with the cape on, so it does hinder him a little bit, but at the same time, he's probably just going to be standing around looking ridiculous and cool. So it's not too big of a deal. It's just something to note. When you got the cape on him, he is of course locked in a little bit at the chest, but otherwise he is just as articulated as the rest of the line. Aesthetically speaking, this is where the guy wins, right? This is what everybody wants. You want this figure for the look. So while he may be hindered in some ways by this cape, it really doesn't matter to me. Sure, you don't have to use it, but you're probably gonna use it. And he looks so much cooler, and I say cool in the most ridiculous of ways, because this is a stupid looking figure, but it works so well. I mean, it just looks cool. It's weird, it's goofy, and it surprisingly just fits. You know, Destro is a big chrome-headed guy to begin with, so giving him a gold head isn't too out of left field. But when you throw this animal print on him is when things start to get kind of wacky. However, I like it. So yeah, you know, he does have a lot going on as far as paint applications, especially compared to that first figure. And I'll do a quick comparison here shortly. But you've got, you know, you've got the red on the gauntlets. You've got the missile launcher here that's painted up in a gold metallic finish. You've got the animal prints all over his crotch and his thighs there, and it's really nicely tampoed. No issues there as far as any kind of issues with paint, smudging, or fuzzy lines or anything like that. And then you've got pretty minimal stuff when it comes to coloration on the knee pads and the feet. A little touch of gold down here, which works for this figure, and then a little gunmetal on those knee pads. But the base figure is, of course, done up in this kind of maroony color, which definitely works. It tends to flow pretty nicely between the other colors here as far as the red and then the more flesh tones and the tans and things like that. The only thing I don't really like about this figure when it comes to the overall look, and this is a problem I have with the first figure, with the regular one, is that he's got very cakey looking skin when it comes to the chest. So you've got, move the necklace out of the way, this area right here is just painted kind of like a fleshy tone, and it's just really, really cakey, and it very much stands out. It stands out more so on the regular figure to me than this one. It's not the same shade, so it's not too bad, but it is something that I still kind of draw my attention to. He does have the free-flowing necklace here with the red jewel in the center. You've got your belt with the sheath down here for a two-tone look for the gunmetal, and then the red, and then of course this holsters his gun. And then you've got the cape here, which, I mean, this is a separate piece. It's an accessory, you don't have to use it, but I want to talk about it now because not only is the sculpt on it just absurd because it's an animal pelt, it's like a leopard pelt, and it's tampoed really nicely. There's some nice paint shading on there. You got the feet and the tail sculpted, as well as the front paws up here with some kind of furry fringes on the pauldron area of the cape. And I think it's stupid in a cool way. It's really interesting. It's well done. The paint is a little cakey up here. It's kind of thick, but I'd rather it be too thick there than too thin like we see in some other instances. So I'm pretty happy with the way it looks overall. And I mean, when you look at him from the back, it's just so crazy. It's a weird thing. It's definitely going to stand out on a Joe shelf for sure. So I'm pretty happy with the overall look and how well they did this. And then you've got the head up there, which is exactly the same thing you would have expected to get from the first figure. Although, and I don't know if we have any variants here, but the original Destro had that one with the circle on the head, and then they changed it with a running change with no circle. This one does not have a circle, and I'm assuming that's going to be the case for all of them. If someone has a different one, let me know. But the sculpt on it is really fantastic. I'm very happy with this. Very clean and crisp. It's got kind of like hard edges while also being very humanoid, so it's not exactly like, vintage cardback Destro where it's all really angular. But I do like it. The gold is very metallic, very clean and crisp on those eyes, and he's got a nice curmudgeonly look. So yeah, I mean, as far as aesthetics go, I think they absolutely nailed it. Sculpt is really well done. Paint is, for the most part, really well done, and this look translates to figure form almost too well. And then here is a quick comparison of the two Destro figures, so just to give you an idea of what they look like. And there's really not a lot to compare to. They are the same base figure through and through. The only true difference here is that you get the additional stuff with this figure. So of course he has the cape on right now, but otherwise they would be the same. He just has all the wacky colorations as far as the animal print and then the red colors and all of that kind of stuff. But otherwise they are the same guy. This one is the circle-headed version of Destro though, so that's a slight difference, but you got to be right up on him to really notice it. So this is a really solid figure. Again, I still don't remember why I didn't review him because he's probably the star of Wave 1 really for me. And then we've got a really awesome, goofy, weird variant that definitely utilizes this figure pretty well. I don't have any real issues with the fact that we already got this guy this early on in the line as a variant or a different version of Destro or a big parts reuse style figure. I'm really happy with this one, and I'm really happy with this one, honestly, just for different reasons. A really solid figure to begin with some goofy changes down the road. Or not even down the road, just a couple months later. Now for accessories, Destro has, I don't know, I guess everything he really needs. There's some good stuff in here, and it all comes down to playing up the goofy wackiness, just stupid look when it comes to this particular release. Now, he already has the cape on, and like I said, this is probably going to be the version that everybody displays. This is the look, is to have the cape on him. You don't have to use it, so it is an accessory, technically in that regard, but we've already talked about it. He's probably going to be wearing it on your shelf. And then we've got the pistol here, which you've seen throughout the review so far, just in the holster. Gold metal. It's the same thing that came with the regular Destro, but it's a different finish. That other figure had kind of it's a little bit more metallic-y in terms of color. This one just matches the gold finish that's on the figure. I don't know if that makes too much sense, but it you'll notice it when you have them in hand. Sculpt on it's pretty good. It's just kind of a futuristic little pistol. Nothing too crazy, but exactly what you'd expect from this line. We've got his shades here, which I absolutely dig. We've seen a lot of sunglasses with figures more and more recently, which I'm very much happy with. So they've got kind of like a purple lens look to them, kind of like a polarized look there, and they fit on the head exceptionally well. I'm really happy with the sizing. They don't really seem like they want to fall off. I've had no issues with them. I am concerned about my own predilections of losing things like that, so only time will tell, but so far we're doing good. And then we've got his briefcase. So we saw this with the first Destro as well. His was black. This one is gold. It's got the Cobra logo emblazoned in there, and then you can actually open this guy. And this one's kind of hard for me to get open sometimes, but you've got it. So you've got kind of like a data pad in there with a screen and the Cobra logo tampoed on there, and then a bunch of cash inside there, which of course plays up probably the most popular accessory that this figure comes with. He's got the stack of flaming cash, and I don't know what more needs to be said about this. It's weird, it's funny, it's really well done. I mean, this is the kind of accessory that caps off a figure like this, because it's gaudy, it's just weird. It is out of left field for a lot of folks probably, but maybe at least for the uninitiated Joe fan. But this thing is just something that takes it up another level in conjunction with the glasses and the cape. I mean, this makes the complete package. So you've got kind of like a sculpted wad of bills with some flames coming off of it. And it's really well done. You can hold this in either hand pretty nicely as well. So yeah, solid array of accessories. Nothing too crazy as far as quantity goes, but it's all really good stuff in terms of quality. I'm very happy with everything that this guy comes with. So yeah, this guy is pretty awesome. Like, there's really not much more for me to say about it. I've got a couple little gripes here and there when it comes to paint in certain areas, just in terms of paint applications really, not like errors. But overall, the figure is well sculpted. He's got an awesome, goofy, funny look that just plays up a certain vibe for Destro that I think works exceptionally well. He's built on the base of an awesome figure to begin with, and this is just more of that same. Again, it's one of those instances where I'm not upset that we already got a variant of a figure that has really only been out for a few months. I mean, this line is still so new, but we've already got 2 Destros, and I am not one to complain about it because both of them are really good figures. This guy is probably my favorite right now just because I can't put it down. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's weird, it's funny, and you can definitely throw this guy into a lot of other situations with other figures just for some interesting background fodder. So yeah, definitely snatch this one up. You will not be disappointed. So that's going to do it for this look at the G.I. Joe Classified Profit Director Destro. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.